Hey there, Darren, and it is 10:39 p.m. on November 20th, 2016. It's been a while since I've made a video. Well, I want to talk about the Rolling Stones because next week, December 2nd, they will have a new album out, their first in 11 years, Blue and Lonesome. Now, this is not going to be an album of originals, it's going to be all cover tunes. So I thought with the release of the new Stones album, I thought I would go through the discography of the Rolling Stones. Now I'm going to mostly focus here on the studio discography. There are a lot of live albums. I will mention the ones that I do have. I don't have them all. But as far as the discography goes, yeah, the Rolling Stones were one of those bands that were stuck with the whole US version, UK version deal. Now, when the ABCO releases, so everything they released in the 60s, when they came out on CD for the first time, they released only the American versions. And a lot of people complained about it. But then in 2002, when the albums were reissued and remastered, they included the American and UK albums, but not all the UK albums. There were still one or two missing. So when I got into the Stones, which was about sometime in 2001 when I checked out Let It Bleed from the library, and then I think towards the end of that year I bought the album for myself. So yeah, 2001, 2002 was when I got into the Stones. So I thought that people preferred the American albums, whereas my new rule now is to get, if there's two versions of an album, get the one where the band comes from. In this case, the Stones are from the UK, but I've gotten all the American versions, and to be honest, the American versions are better. I mean, just for me, just looking down the tracking list, it just seems to have a better flow. And from here, we have two extra albums for the US. So I'll mention the UK albums, but I'm focusing on the US releases. First album, over here in the US, it was called England's Newest Hitmakers. Over in the UK, it was called The Rolling Stones. It was released in 1964. Not too much of a difference between the US and the UK version. I think one song, Mona, on the UK version didn't appear on the US version. Instead, they put Not Fade Away, which is the first song on here. In terms of favorite songs from England's Newest Hitmakers, just from memory, I do like Not Fade Away. I do like I Just Want to Make Love to You. All the songs on here, on their first album, with the exception of Tell Me, are all covers. Tell Me is the only original song. Jagger Richards' composition on there. Any other songs? I do like Walking the Dog. Kind of silly in some ways. I do like I'm the King Bee, Buzzing Around Your Hive. Anything else? Can I Get a Witness is good. It's not a bad album. 12 by 5 here. This album is okay. Around and Around I like. Time Is on My Side is on here. Different from the single version. This one has an organ intro. The other one has a guitar intro. It's All Over Now. I think these are all out of order back here. They cover Under the Boardwalk. Susie Q's good. Yeah, this isn't bad. I don't know, is this one better or the debut? Probably in some ways the debut. Critically acclaimed album. A lot of people like this one. I don't know if you can see that. The Rolling Stones Now. Alright, this is a very good album. Very, like, everything, it's better than the first two albums. Like, everything just seemed to come into place on this one. Starts off with Everybody Needs Somebody to Love. What else is on here? think Down Home Girl is a good one. Down the Road a Piece. Heart of Stone is also on there. Little Red Rooster, great song. There are some songs that are kind of weird now, like Off the Hook. But then again, it's a good album. It's a very good album. Lots of R&B influences on it. At least the U.S. version. You have Mercy Mercy, Hitchhike. You get hits in the form of Satisfaction, The Last Time, Play with Fire, and some deep tracks like The Spider and the Fly, The West Coast Promotional Man, or whatever that one's called. I'll put an annotation. That's a good one. What else? I don't know. It's just a very enjoyable album, Out of Our Heads. It's just song after song. I do really like That's How Strong My Love Is. Mick gives a very strong vocal performance on that one. And for what it is, December's Children is a good collection of songs, but you can tell that it really, I mean, once you start listening to it, it sounds like a collection of songs rather than a full-length album, but it's still good. She Said Yeah's good. You Better Move On. Blue Turns to Gray. It's the singer, not the song. Get Off My Cloud is on here. As Tears Go By, which Marianne Faithfull, who became Mick Jagger's girlfriend, later covered. I'm Free, which got a little, actually right now it's being used for a commercial. I can't remember who used it, but the Stones version was used for a commercial a couple years ago for Chase Freedom, for their credit card or whatnot. So yeah, December's Children, not a bad collection of songs. Now the main difference is this has 3 more songs. Well, there are some songs that are taken out. Like this one starts off with Mother's Little Helper, one of their best songs. That was taken off and replaced with Paint It Black on the US version. I can't remember. I just remember that I think they just cut 3 songs, probably rearranged, swapped spots with 2 of them, and then added Paint It Black on the US version. This one, you get Mother's Little Helper, all the other songs, and then the 3 missing songs. So with this one is about 53 minutes. Now, why this album is so important in their career, it's their first album of originals. So it's sort of like their Hard Day's Night, where A Hard Day's Night was the first album with, or the first Beatles album with all Lennon McCartney originals. So this is the first one with all Jagger Richards originals. So now as far as this album goes, Aftermath is a great album, whichever version you pick up, but if you want the most music, get this version here. Mother's Little Helper's great. Stupid Girl, it's a great song. Lady Jane, Brian Jones plays the mellotron on that one, or whatever, or the synclaver. I'll put an annotation. Harpsichord, I think it was. Harpsichord. That's what he plays. Yeah, the guy was a really talented musician, Brian Jones. And continuing that, Under My Thumb, he's playing the marimba. And then if you get the US version, Paint It Black, he's playing sitar. So he was a very, very talented musician. You get the bluesy songs in the form of Don't You Bother Me, High and Dry, It's Not Easy, I guess, Going Home. You get Out of Time. Out of Time is a great song. Going Home, I mentioned, I think would have been better as the last song on the album, which the US version does, because it's 11 minutes long. By that point, you're done with the album, in this case. The songs that come with the UK version are Out of Time, as mentioned. Take It or Leave It, which I cannot remember how it starts or goes. And the album ends with What to Do, which is a good one. I also like Think. That's a great one. So, yeah, this is when they were, it's their first album of originals. So, you gotta give them credit for that one.